higher purchaser will prepare higher seller account. Higher seller will prepare higher purchaser account. Who sells the goods to higher purchaser on the basis of higher purchase system. So this is the format for calculation of interest, depreciation, installment and principal. Written down value method or diminishing balance method is one and the same. It is also called as reducing balance method. Hello my dear students, I am Ajay M, Department of Commerce and Management, Vidyashram First State College, a Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Today's session is all about Financial Accounting 2. Chapter name is Accounting for Hire Purchase System, Session 2. Let's go to the first slide. This is the meaning of hire purchaser. See, my dear students, in hire purchase system, there are two parties. First one, hire seller. Second one, hire purchaser. The hire purchaser is the person who purchased the goods from hire seller on the basis of hire purchase system. The hire seller is the person who sells the goods to hire purchaser on the basis of hire purchase system. So, in hire purchase system, whatever the amount we have to pay to the hire seller can be paid in installment system. So, till the end of all the payment is made, till all the installment is made to hire seller, the ownership of the goods cannot be transferred to hire purchaser. Only is the user of the goods. He is considered as user of goods, not the owner of goods. When ownership is transferred, only after payment of all the installment with interest, the ownership will be transferred from hire seller to hire purchaser. Now, this is the meaning of hire purchase system. What is the meaning of hire purchase system? Hire purchase system is the system of purchase under which the possession of the goods is offered by the seller to buyer. See, only the goods will transfer. The ownership will not transfer. Next one. On the condition, what is the condition? The price of the goods should be paid by the purchaser in certain installment. So, you can do some down payment. After the payment of down payment, we can pay the amount in installment system. The legal ownership of the goods will pass only after the payment of full installment. Not if the hire purchaser failed to pay any installment, then the hire seller can take the goods away from the hire purchaser. He will repossess the goods. Who will repossess the goods? Hire seller will repossess the goods from hire purchaser because of non-payment of any installment. When the ownership will be transferred, only after the payment of all installment, the ownership will transfer. Now, this is the format of journal entries in the books of hire purchaser. On the basis of journal only, we can prepare ledger entries. See, hire purchaser will prepare hire seller account. Hire seller will prepare hire purchaser account. Now, first one, for example, let's assume this is the first Jan or first year. Okay. Now, while purchasing asset, I will go to Tata showroom or Bajaj showroom. I will purchase a motorbike. Okay, I will purchase a motorbike. When I purchase the motorbike, I have to give journal entry. I am the hire purchaser. Who is the hire seller? Tata showroom is the hire seller. What is the asset? Motorbike is the asset. Now, asset account are to hire seller account. What do you mean by asset? Why asset should be debited? Why hire seller should be credited? Because debit what comes in, what real account says, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. And what hire seller is person. He is a person. It is personal account. What personal account says, debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here, real account is also there, personal account is also there. Combine both the account, it will become compound journal entry. So, asset coming from real account. Hire seller is a person coming from personal account. Now, we got the compound journal entry. So, asset what comes, debit what comes in. When I purchase, asset comes to the business. So, it should be debited. Here higher seller is the giver, credit the giver. That's why higher seller should be written as credit side. So asset account to higher seller account being the asset purchased on higher purchase system. Now next, on the same day when you purchase the asset, you have to make down payment, isn't it? When you on the same day when I purchase my bike, I have to make some down payment. See, down payment usually it will be 10% or 20% of the asset. It is not the 100% of the value of asset. It is just 10 or 20% of the value of asset. For example, if I purchase for 1 lakh rupees asset, cost price or cash price of the asset is 1 lakh rupees. I have to pay 10% as down payment. Let's assume 10% as down payment. It will become 10,000. So here I have to write, when I purchase the asset, I have to write the cash price of the asset. So what is the cash price? 1 lakh rupees is the cash price. So after that, what is journal entry for down payment? Higher seller account add to bank account. Here, when I pay amount, who is the receiver? Higher seller is the receiver. On the same day, I have to pay down payment. On the same day when I purchase the asset, I have to make the down payment. Who is the receiver? Higher seller is the receiver. Who is the giver? Bank is the giver. That's why higher seller should be debited, bank should be credited. Higher seller account to bank account being the down payment. What is the per amount of down payment? 10% of the cash price. It is 10,000. I hope you are following. Okay, now we did down payment. See, I brought the asset to my home. Okay, now I purchased the asset, I made the down payment. Now I brought the asset to my home. After the end, on the same day, after 1 year, for example, what is the last day of this year? 31st December. 31st December. Now I have to pay the installment with interest. Now I have to pay the installment with interest. Remaining amounts here, 1 lakh rupees is the cost price or cash price, minus down payment is 10,000. What is the remaining amount? 90,000 is the remaining amount. This amount should be paid in equal installment with interest. This amount should be paid in installment. Let's take, for example, 4 installment. So what is the amount? 90,000 divided by 4. 90,000 divided by 4 equals to 22,500 is the principal amount. So now I have to add the interest here. Add the interest I have to pay. For that I have to calculate the interest here. What is the journal entry for? To showing the interest is due. Interest account I have to higher seller account being the interest is due. Next transaction. With this interest I have to make the installment. I have to pay the installment. Journal entry, what is the journal entry for paying the installment? When I pay the installment, who is the receiver? Higher seller is the receiver. What is going out? Check is going out or cash is going out. Then it is bank or cash account. Journal entry, higher seller account. Date is 31st 12 first year. Okay, 31st, these are all entries for first year. So higher seller account add to bank account being the first year installment paid. Being the first year installment paid. Next one, after the installment paid, we have to calculate the depreciation of asset. We have to calculate the depreciation for asset. Journal entry for calculation of depreciation. See here, interest is also, why interest is debited here? Because interest is a loss. What nominal account says? Debit all expenses, losses, credit all incomes and gains. When I paying interest to the higher seller, interest is a loss to me. Like that, here depreciation is also a loss for me. Depreciation also loss for me. That's why depreciation is debited. So depreciation account to asset account. Same day, 31st 12 1, depreciation account to asset account being the first year depreciation. Now for next entry, both this interest is loss for us, this depreciation is loss for us. Both interest and depreciation should be transferred to profit and loss account here. So both interest and depreciation should be transferred to profit and loss account. Same date, 31st 12 first year. Interest account, this amount here. Interest account, this amount, this interest and this depreciation should be transferred to profit and loss account. Let's assume interest is 1,000, depreciation is 1,000. Both should be transferred as 2,000. What is journal entry for that? Profit and loss account debtor to interest account to depreciation account. So being interest and depreciation transfer to profit and loss account. Now, see this 6 entry for first year. What are the 6 entry? Once again I am repeating. First one for purchasing asset, journal entry, asset account add to higher seller account. Next one, making the down payment. What is journal entry? Who is the receiver? Higher seller. Higher seller account add to bank account. Second, for the down payment. Next one, we have to show interest is due. Journal entry, interest account add to higher seller account, being the interest is due. Fourth entry, we have to pay the installment with interest. Journal entry, higher seller. Who is the receiver? Higher seller account add to cash or bank account, being the first year installment paid. Sixth entry, we have to calculate the depreciation. What is journal entry for calculation depreciation? Depreciation account add to asset account, being the first year depreciation. And the last entry is, sixth one is profit and loss account debtor to interest account to depreciation account is the entry for calculation transfer of interest and depreciation to profit and loss account. Now this is 6 entry for first year. Now from second year we have to show only 4 entries. Why? Already we have purchased the asset, only once we will show the asset purchasing entry. Okay. Now here already once we will make the down payment. Every year we cannot make the down payment. Every year we cannot purchase the asset. Only once we will purchase the asset. Only once we will make the down payment. From next year we can only pay only interest and installment. Isn't it? That's why second year interest should be calculated. What is journal entry for calculation of second year interest? So same interest account to higher seller account. So this is the 31st. Well, here this is first year. Now from second year, interest account to higher seller account, being the second year installment due. Again 31st 12/2002 second year, higher seller account to bank account, being the second year installment paid. Again for depreciation 31st 12 second year, depreciation account to asset account, being the second year depreciation charged. Next one, same second year depreciation and second year interest should be transferred to profit and loss account. 31st 12/2000 second year, profit and loss account debtor, interest account to depreciation account, being both interest and depreciation transferred to profit and loss account. This is for next, for 4 entry second year is completed. From this one third year, again if we gives for installment, we have to pay installment in 3 years, we have to do all journal entries for 3 years. If he gives for 4 years, again we have to write from interest account is due, second installment is paid, third one depreciation is charged, fourth one both interest and depreciation will transfer to profit and loss account. Again see here for third year 31st 12 second third year, interest account to higher seller account, being third year interest is due. Again 31st 12 third year, higher seller account to bank account, being the third year installment paid. Again 31st 12/3. So now we have to calculate the depreciation for third year, depreciation account to asset account. Last one, both interest and depreciation should be transferred to profit and loss account. So 31st 12 third year, both interest and depreciation will be transferred to profit and loss account. Journal entry, profit and loss account debtor to interest account to depreciation account. Now here when I say depreciation, in this type of problem there are 2 types of depreciation we will ask in the exam. First one, written down value method, and second one is straight line method. First one is written down value method, WDV, we will call it as WDV, written down value method. It is also called as diminishing balance method. I hope you are clear. Written down value method or diminishing balance method is one and the same. It is also called as reducing balance method. Next one, this is first one. Second one, straight line method. Here it is also called as original cost method. See, written down value method means every year the depreciation will be reducing. Straight line method means the first year what will be the depreciation, every year depreciation will be same. Written down value method, depreciation will be changing every year. But in straight line method or original cost method, depreciation will be same from first year to last year. This is the two types of depreciation we will ask in the question. This is the format for calculation of interest, depreciation, installment and principal. So we use this type of table for calculation of principal, interest and installment, depreciation. So we have to write here the cost price. Now we have to calculate the principal, we have to get the principal amount, then the interest, installment and depreciation. While preparing journal entry, we have to show this table. On the base of this table, once we get the principal, interest, installment and depreciation, we can go for journal entry. For the next class, we can go for problems on journal entries in the books of hire purchaser. This is only format. In today's session, we have discussed about the format of journal entry. In next session, we will discuss about the actual problems on hire purchase system in the books of hire purchaser. I hope you have understood this much. Now, I am going to stop this session. Again, we will meet in next session. Till then, thank you so much.